If this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, or if you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, hey, thanks for coming by. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. Now, I want to start off this segment by acknowledging that it serves me no good to use this form, this medium, this YouTube channel as a means of rebuttal and retaliation. I've come to realize that we're going to ascribe to what we're really going to ascribe to. Now, what I also say is that I will not post anything just to be posting. My background is one that I'm going to have credible documentation to support what I'm sharing. That is the only way I know how to do things. That also means that if I am misleading somebody and I'm called out for it, I'm going to go back in and go over my material, and I'll admit if and when I'm wrong. It's one thing not to agree, but it's another thing to deceive people. I also admit the fact is that there is no single exact correct way to make the money that I make and what others make as we share that information here in the YouTube sphere. Now, I'm going to use that as a background to actually what kind of got me to thinking and what kind of got me to wanting to do this segment of the Gig Geezer. On Saturday, December 24, 2022, I got into an exchange of words under content creators' recent posting in which it's evident to me that we are on opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of our respective strategies of working the DoorDash app platform. This content creator has grown in visibility throughout 2022 because he's advocated that acceptance rate matters. He believes that it has everything to do with how one can survive and thrive on that app platform. He's also hit people to DoorDash's large order program. And now that DoorDash has by and large introduced the Accept More, Earn More program, he's pretty much gone apeshit crazy, showing higher paying orders after high paying order. At least that's what he shares on his channel. Now, this content creator is also unabashed about his affinity for DoorDash. In fact, at least according to a comment he directed at me, it's the only app that he works. Now, I ain't mad at him. At least as I replied to him, I said that I've always said that if a person can do it on one or two apps, good for him or her. And I've also said that numerous times here on the Gig Geezer channel. I also mentioned in my reply to that content creator that working a single app won't cut into my market, the Columbia, South Carolina metropolitan area. In fact, I said that you have to work as many apps as you can. For that, he told me that I act like a woman, and he suggested that I go indoctrinate my misinformed audience. Well, on top of that, he posted a screenshot of his most recent earnings. What caught my attention was not the $1,509 that he made. It was him likening drivers who choose not to go along with Tony Zhu's mind games and forming the role of that of an employee. He likened to those of us as soft individuals with demons inside their souls. And then he went on to imply that we're idiots, low information, low intellect individuals. Idiots teaching idiots, he said. Now, I suppose that means that I'm one old fucked up motherfucker. And anyone who believes that accept less, earn more is an equally effective way to thrive in their respective market. In fact, it is the method that I believe that over the long haul will actually survive. He believes that that individual is also fucked up, demented, and is weak. Now, what I want to show you is tangible proof as to how my strategy of doing things here in the gig economy has worked for me so far. As a review, in this segment of the Gig Geezer, I shared how the gig economy has put me in a position whereby I've seen my credit score improve by more than 200 points since 2018. I've also uploaded in this segment of the Gig Geezer, I show how individuals can make apps like the DoorDash platform their business. Not so much as working the app as an individual business person, but the more important things behind the scenes. In other words, I pose to folk, have you created a business name? Have you created a sole proprietorship, or have you created an LLC, a limited liability corporation? Have you opened 2 business checking accounts? These are just some basic things that I showed in this segment of the Gig Geezer. In another recent segment of the Gig Geezer, I posed the question, are you making the most out of your gig opportunity? I asked in this particular segment of the Gig Geezer, I asked, what are you doing with the money that you make working these gig apps? I mentioned also that when you are running a viable business, when you are in business for yourself, you'll realize that 70% acceptance rate, that 70% or higher acceptance rate is worthless in the real business world. It's just a metric used by DoorDash and DoorDash only. It's not an asset that you can sell. It's not something that you can pass on to your spouse, children, or other relatives. In fact, your 70% or higher acceptance rate is not anything that you can retire on. Now, if you're retired and you're looking to make extra money, yes, you can do that. But as a friendly reminder, I'll also say that your 70% or higher acceptance rate ain't going to matter if and when DoorDash sends you a friendly, well-written email apprising you of your deactivation. Now, see these pictures here? Those are pictures of a 2019 Ford Transit 250 van. It is considered a Sprinter class van. It's a kind to the Dodge Ram 2500 model and the Mercedes Sprinter models. This is a transaction that I made recently, and this transaction will open the doors to far more opportunities than me working a DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart app. In fact, while I can use this cargo van to complete DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, or Instacart orders, more importantly though, it will put me in a position to make far more money. In fact, I know that I have more options in front of me. My challenge is after a little more than 1 week of owning this van is still trying to figure out how to align myself with the right business relationships to maximize my grind that much more. Now, some of you may recall in this segment of the Gig Geezer, I conceded that there's only so much we're going to be making on these gig food delivery apps. And I conceded that my cap seems to be somewhere around the $72,000 to $75,000 range working the Columbia, South Carolina metropolitan area. This year, 2022, is my third consecutive calendar year in which I've made somewhere in that range. This is also a number that I've shared that is just based on my running Excel spreadsheet count. But when I actually have used my 1099s, when I actually apply them to my 1040 Schedule C tax form, which is the one that tells you your profit and loss statement, my numbers actually come in higher. This van is tangible proof to what working these apps like a business can do for you. This is an example of business-like results. And if you may recall, by the way, if this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, or if you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, hey, thanks for coming by. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. Now, if you are a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, you have heard me say many times that in order to get business-like results, you have to treat this as a business. This van was not a cash purchase. Then again, who all has $35,000, $40,000 lying around in their checking accounts? And then again, who has $35,000, $40,000 credit line? But that said, this van is proof of when you can walk into a bank, having handled your business as you should. You can walk into a bank, apply for a business credit card, and be approved in a matter of seconds, and then turn around and apply for a business auto loan and be approved in a matter of seconds. This is also the result of using a business name as an LLC. Now, I'm going to say this for whatever it's worth. Your business name is merely for tax and financial purposes, and that as a business person, you need to learn how to use that to your advantage. But in doing so, at least in starting out, you're going to have your shit together as well, because starting out, when you're building business credit, it's going to be on the strength of your personal credit as for starters. But then as you build your business credit, then everything will be based on your business's credit profile. Now, one thing I have noticed, at least on the YouTube, many of the YouTube channels that I have checked out, those of us who have maintained low acceptance rates, or at least those of us who have advocated working multiple apps, and I'll even go as far as saying those of us who have advocated stacking multiple orders across multiple apps, we're the ones who have been nudging people to diversify themselves. We're the ones who have been nudging and urging people to come up with an exit strategy. We're the ones who have been nudging and urging people to take inventory of ourselves and identify things that are our strengths, which may lead to money-making opportunities. But then again, as I've gone through this particular segment of the Gig Geezer, I'm reminded of that same specific content creator describing us low acceptance rate folks as weak, of low intellect, tormented, demented, and in my case, a bitch. He didn't say bitch, but he said I act like a woman. So he might as well said I'm a bitch. But then I invited him to come fuck me. So anyway, I'm okay with knowing that I am showing people how to make the gig economy work for them. And I'm okay with knowing that I am not misleading people here on the Gig Geezer channel. And with that, if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hey, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane, and as always, may your hustle and may your grind continue.